All right. Everyone, check this out. All right, okay, this is the American President's Project. This is presidency.us. I mean .ucsb.edu. See up here. Okay, and this is Executive Order 14067. And as you can see right there, it's talking about Executive Order 14067. You see the president right there, Biden. It says, by the authority vested in me as President of the United States, President by the Constitution, the laws of the United States of America, I hereby order as follows. We're going to skip all the way to Section 4. It's pretty long. It's pretty boring. I doubt he wrote it because he would probably fall asleep trying to write this. But when you get to Section 4, things change. Look how important this is. Try to read along with me. Section 4, Policy and Actions Related to United States Central Bank Digital Currencies. Subsection A, Alpha. The policy of my administration on the United States CBDC is as follows. Subsection 1. Sovereign money is at the core of a well-functioning financial system. Macroeconomic stabilization policies and economic growth. My administration places the highest urgency on research and development efforts into the potential design and deployment options of a United States CBDC. These efforts should include assessments of possible benefits and risks for consumers, investors, and businesses, financial stability and systemic risk, payment systems, national security, the ability to exercise human rights, financial inclusion and equity, and the actions required to launch a United States CBDC if doing so is deemed to be in the national interest. Subsection 2. My administration sees merit in showcasing United States leadership and participation in international fora related to CBDCs and in multi-country conversations and pilot projects involving CBDCs. Any future dollar payment system should be designed in a way that is consistent with United States priorities, as outlined in Section 4A, subsection I, subsection A, subsection I of this order, and democratic values, including privacy protections, and that ensures the global financial system has appropriate transparency, connectivity, and platform and architecture interoperability or transferability as appropriate. Subsection 3. A United States CBDC may have the potential to support efficient and low-cost transactions, particularly for cross-border fund transfers and payments, and to foster greater access to the financial system with fewer of the risks posed by a private sector administered digital assets. So according to them, private sector administered digital assets have too much risks. Continuing. A United States CBDC that is interoperable with CBDCs issued by other monetary authorities could facilitate faster and lower cost cross-border payments and the potentially boost economic growth, support continued centrality of the United States within the international financial system, and help to protect the unique role that the dollar plays in global finance. There are also, however, potential risks and downsides to consider. We should prioritize timely assessments of potential benefits and risks under various designs to ensure that the United States remains a leader in the international financial system. So it looks like pause there. Looks like Biden is very, very worried about our position as the world reserve currency holders. Like that's coming to an end. So B, subsection B. Let me get some water. Holy, this is real bad news, guys. So subsection B, within 180 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of Treasury, in consultation with the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, the Secretary of Commerce, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Director of the Office of Management and Budget, the Director of National Intelligence, and the heads of other relevant agencies shall submit to the President a report on the future of money and payment systems, including the conditions that drive broad adoption of digital assets, the extent to which technological innovation may influence these outcomes, and implications for the United States financial system, the modernization of and changes to payment systems, economic growth, financial inclusion, and national security. Interesting. This report shall be coordinated through the interagency process described in Section 3 of this order. Based on the potential United States CBDC design options, this report shall include an analysis of subsection 1 of B, the potential implications of a United States CBDC based on the possible design choices for national interest, including implications for economic growth and stability. Subsection 2, the potential implications a United States CBDC might have on final inclusion. Subsection 3, the potential relationship between a CBDC and private sector administered digital assets. Subsection 4, the future of sovereign and privately produced money globally and implications for our financial system and democracy. Subsection 5, the extent to which foreign CBDCs could displace existing currencies and alter the payment system in ways that could undermine the United States financial centrality. Subsection 6. What is 6? Yeah. The potential implications for national security and financial crime, including an analysis of illicit financing risks, sanction risks, other law enforcement and national security interests, and implication for human rights. Oh, darn. Subsection 7, an assessment of the effects that the growth of foreign CBDCs may have on United States interests generally. Subsection C, the chairman of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, chairman of the Federal Reserve, is encouraged to continue to research and report on the extent to which CBDCs could improve the efficiency and reduce the cost of existing and future payment systems. To continue to assess the optimal form of a United States CBDC and to develop a strategic plan for Federal Reserve and broader United States government action as appropriate, that evaluates the necessary steps and requirements for the potential implementation and launch of the United States CBDC. The chairman of the Federal Reserve is also encouraged to evaluate the extent to which United States CBDC, based on the potential design options, could enhance or impede the ability of monetary policy to function effectively as a critical macroeconomic stabilization tool. This is the first time reading this. I'm reading this along with you guys for the first time. And this is World War III shit right here. Subsection D. The Attorney General, in consultation with the Secretary of Treasury and the Chairman of the Federal Reserve, shall. Subsection 1 of D. Within 180 days of this date of order, provide the President through the APNSA and APEP an assessment of whether legislative changes would be necessary to issue a United States CBDC should it be deemed appropriate and in the national interest. And number 2, within 210 of this date of this order, provide the President through the APNSA and the APAP a corresponding legislative proposal based on consideration of the report submitted by the Secretary of the Treasury under Section 4B of this order and any materials developed by the Chairman of the Federal Reserve consistent with Section 4C of this order. Okay, so the reason why I started reading this off, Section 4, is because I just heard something come from Jim Rickett, who's what's his name? Jim Rickett. Yeah, Jim Rickett. So he said he literally is panicking and saying that the dollar bill has crashed. Like it's a done deal, and the subsection 4 actually explained this. And so if we break this down, if we go over this one more time and break it down, it seems that the rest of the of all the other countries of the United Nations are gonna start off on a new monetary system, and the United States is no longer gonna be a world leader in the monetary system as it has been for the last 100 years. And in order, they're gonna make a digital token, is what was being told, and literally it's not Americans that are in control of your monetary system anymore. It's the central bankers, which are foreign. They're not Americans. They don't hold American values. They don't want us to have American values. And so this is the reason why, if you go back into history and you know history and like you study the Civil War. The Civil War began because of the change of the monetary system. See, back then you could be every state of the United States had their own monetary system. And if you wanted to go from, say, California to Texas, you could go to California Bank, give them the fiat, the promissory notes. They'd give you your gold. Then you would travel to Texas, put your gold in the Texas Bank, and then the Texas Bank would give you their promissory notes based on their state, on the economic numbers that the state has in regards to value of gold. And so that was one of the main things that changed after the Civil War. They said, no, they're gonna make they're gonna make a national dollar bill, and that's what caused the Civil War. It It was about slavery, but it was mainly about the fact that the way the monetary system was going to be changed. If you're not allowed to have slaves anymore, then that means you yourself have to get up and work, go outside and work. And to the people that were slave owners at the time, their view of that was, well, that makes me a slave too. Then, if I'm gonna have to work alongside everyone else, I'm no longer, an owner. I'm no longer, you know, and this is not to say that everyone were bad, bad slave owners. A lot of slaves actually loved their slave owners and were and enjoyed living with them, and a lot of them were highly religious, and as long as everyone followed a religious way of life, they actually had nice, supposedly nice relationships. And that's not to say that there was some sadistic, crazy, stupid idiots that disregarded their slaves as livestock or some type of form of labor animal or something like that. It was okay, so that'd be totally different. But every time there's been a monetary change, it's been because of a large war. Now, going over this and right there off of right off the beginning, section 4, it says policy and actions related to United States central bank digital currencies. So a CBDC is a central bank digital currency. Okay, it's not gonna be because of your money. They're gonna issue it's the dollar. Look, if you got a bank account and you have $3 million in your bank account, and this happens, and they decide that, hey, the dollar bill has totally collapsed. We have a new monetary system. Your $3 million are shit. They're worthless. It's and to be honest and to be fair, if you do have that amount in the bank, it's worthless as is right now because of the debt. The Everyone's panicking. Every country's panicking because they can't pay their debts off, and as they can't pay their debts off, we could see what's happening to the large cities. They're falling apart. All the major large cities across the plane of existence are all falling apart. New York, Los Angeles, Tokyo, Mexico, the Distrito Federal. I could go on and on. Hong Kong. All the main, the main large, cities that are supposed to be a representation of the petrodollar system are literally falling apart. Okay, so this is pretty real. We'll go to number subsection 1. It says sovereign money is at the core of well-functioning financial system, macroeconomic stabilization policies, and economic growth. So by them saying that, they're saying that there right now, currently, there is not a sovereign money. There is not a sovereign money at the core of a well-functioning financial system. That's what they're saying, which we can all agree. Everything that's being in circulation right now is literally quantitative easing, printed out money. It's absolutely 100% counterfeit. It is not real. It is counterfeit money. Whatever everyone has right now, honestly, is counterfeit money. Subsection 2. My administration sees merit in showcasing United States leadership and participation in international fora related to central bank digital currencies, and in multi-country conversations and pilot projects involving CBDCs. Okay, so that means that as of right now, there are pilot projects. Okay, multi-country conversations and pilot projects. So right now they're running a bunch of science experiments with central banking digital currencies in different countries, and these countries are collaborating and they're figuring out what's the best way to implement this new digital currency that's coming. Moving forward on that, any future dollar payment system should be designed in a way that is consistent with the United States priorities as outlined in Section 4A A1 of this order, and democratic values, including privacy protection, that ensures the global financial system has appropriate transparency, connectivity, and platform and architecture interoperability or transferability as appropriate. Okay, so what they're saying right there is that's the problem right there. I can identify it right there. Our American values are not equal to the values of everyone else. We're totally different. We expect more. We've been living more. We've been living larger more than everyone has. You know, we've been living it up. Being the world reserve currency holders, we've been living it up. So what they're talking about, what was being said right there, that ensures the global financial system has appropriate transparency. That means they're gonna come in here and do bad shit to us. The rest of the rest of the global financial system, okay, is gonna about to attack us. And what he's saying is we're gonna make sure that whatever they implement on us, we're gonna make sure that that there's uh, transparency, that we could see what they're doing. It's not gonna be like we're gonna allow them to come in here and they're gonna behind the scenes beat us up and take our money. That we're gonna make sure that everyone can see what they're doing. Okay. So Section 3, a United States CBDC may have the potential to support efficient, low-cost transactions for greater access to the financial system, with fewer to foster greater access to the financial system. Wow, that means that they're gonna be the gateway. They're gonna be the gateway to the financial system. Okay, you won't be able to work. You won't be able to use anything. You won't be able to purchase, make transactions, sell, or do anything. Because you have to go. The access will be through them. If you go up to right here, up to subsection 2, it specifically says system has appropriate transparency, connectivity, and platform architecture interoperability or transferability as appropriate. The word connectivity's point is included right there. On subsection 3, as we're seeing right here, it says to foster greater access to the financial system with fewer of the risks posed by private sector administered digital assets. That means the connectivity and the access will be the government. It's going to be the central bankers that are now working with the government. So in United States, CBDC that is interoperable with CBDCs issued by other monetary authorities could facilitate faster and lower cost border payments and potential boost economic growth, support the continued centrality of the United States within international financial system, and to help protect the unique role that the unique role that the dollar plays in global finance. See, it's no longer the petrodollar in global finance. Now they're just saying the dollar. The petro has been totally is totally out of the definitions and the vocabulary, and out of the articles, the literature. The petrodollar is no longer petrodollar. It's just the dollar now. They've literally have excluded that part of the word. There are also, however, potential risks, downsides to consider. We should prioritize timely assessments of potential benefits and risks under various designs to ensure the United States remains a leader in the international financial system. Again, they're prioritize them staying the leaders. They're trying so hard to stay the leaders. But if this new monetary system comes out, the United States is not gonna be a leader. In fact, we're gonna have a civil war, because I don't want them to. Like, if I have so much money in the stashed, and they tell me that everything that I have stashed is worthless, wow, you know what I mean? Like, shit. Like, hell yeah, we're gonna go to war. What the fuck you talking about? All you bankers that are trying to fucking go bankrupt after you all went bankrupt, you're gonna get hung. Like, that's a direct threat, motherfuckers. I ain't playing. Okay, subsection B. Within 180 days of this order, boom, I'm not even going to go on the 180. And if you go more further down, they give another timed amount. It's 210 days. So this is an agenda. They're trying to keep up to an agenda, which is important. We take note of, 180 and 210 days, and we start breaking down like how many days before the shit actually could hit the fan. So section B1. Well, let's go back. Yeah, subsection B. The extent to which technology may influence these outcomes. Okay, so right there where it says including the conditions that drive broad adoption of digital assets, the extent to which technological innovation may influence these outcomes, and implications for the United States financial system, the modernization of and changes to payment systems, economic growth, finance. Like this is gonna happen, everyone. They're not. This is not if it happens. They're saying that they're preparing for this. I'm honestly very nervous at this point, because what they're saying right here is they're trying very hard to maintain world leaders after they know the petrodollar is completely collapsed. They're gonna change the entire monetary system. So everyone should start pulling money out the banks, and honestly, like, start by everyone, seriously. I'm not lying. Fuck, man. I don't even want to read the rest of this. I'm gonna take my time and read this, and I'll get back to you guys on all this. But I mean, look at section number 5. It starts out measures to protect consumers, investors, and businesses. This is not shit, dude. Wow, World War III really is here. There's no stopping this. There's nothing we can do to stop this. The petrodollar has completely failed us, and a new monetary system's on its way. Do you guys even political science, bro?